What happens when Hollywood royalty walks onto a daytime talk show and forgets the cameras are rolling? In just 39 seconds, a single comment turned a friendly interview into the most explosive moment in daytime television history. Kelly Ripa sat in her signature chair, warm smile ready, prepared for what should have been another cheerful morning segment. The audience buzzed with excitement. Meghan Markle walked onto the set with an air of confidence that immediately filled the studio. "Welcome, welcome. We are so thrilled to have you here today," Kelly said, her voice bright and genuine as she gestured to the guest chair. Meghan settled into her seat, crossing her legs and offering a tight smile. "Thank you for having me. So, let's jump right in. You've had such an incredible journey. I'd love to hear about your latest projects and what you've been up to," Kelly began, leaning forward with authentic interest. "Well, Kelly, I think the real question is, what haven't I been up to?" Meghan replied, her tone carrying an edge that seemed to catch Kelly slightly off guard. Kelly laughed politely, trying to maintain the energy. "That's wonderful. You're certainly keeping busy. Can you tell our audience about the new initiative you're launching?" "I can, but I'm not sure your audience would fully understand the scope of what I'm trying to accomplish. It's quite sophisticated," Meghan said, glancing toward the cameras with a dismissive expression. The studio audience shifted uncomfortably. Kelly's smile remained, though her eyes showed a flicker of surprise. "Oh, I think our viewers are incredibly smart and engaged. They'd love to hear about it," Kelly responded gracefully, attempting to steer things back on track. "Right. Well, when you're operating at a certain level, it becomes difficult to explain things in simple terms," Meghan continued, examining her nails briefly before looking back at Kelly. Kelly took a breath, her professionalism shining through. "I'm sure you can find a way to share your passion with us. That's what we're here for, to connect and inspire." "Kelly, can I be honest with you?" Meghan asked, though she didn't wait for an answer. "I'm used to interviews where the host has done their research. I expected more preparation." The audience gasped quietly. Kelly's expression remained composed, though the slight tightening of her jaw was noticeable to those watching closely. "I assure you, we've prepared thoroughly for this conversation. We've researched your background, your work, everything," Kelly said, her voice still friendly but firmer now. "Have you? Because the questions you're asking are quite surface level. I've answered these same basic questions 100 times, Meghan said, waving her hand dismissively. Kelly paused, choosing her words carefully. "I apologize if you feel that way. My intention is to let you share your story in your own words, to give you the platform to connect with people who admire you." "Platform? Kelly, I don't need a platform. I am the platform," Meghan stated, her voice rising slightly. "People tune in because of guests like me, not because of hosts asking cookie-cutter questions." The tension in the studio became palpable. Crew members exchanged worried glances. Kelly sat up straighter, maintaining her dignity. "I respect your confidence, but this show has been connecting with millions of viewers for years because we create a warm, welcoming space for genuine conversation," Kelly replied, her tone still measured, but with an unmistakable strength. "Genuine? You want genuine?" "Let me be genuine then," Meghan said, leaning forward. "I agreed to come on this show as a favor. My team told me it would be good exposure, though I'm not sure what exposure I need at this point. We're grateful you're here, truly. But every guest who sits in that chair is treated with the same respect and given the same opportunity to share their voice," Kelly said, her patience beginning to wear visibly thin. "The same respect? Kelly, do you know who I am? Do you understand what I've been through? What I've sacrificed?" Meghan's voice grew louder, more insistent. "Of course I do, and I have tremendous respect for your journey. But respect goes both ways," Kelly responded, her voice calm but direct. Meghan laughed, a sharp sound that cut through the studio. "Respect goes both ways? That's rich coming from someone who's been doing morning television for decades. Tell me, Kelly, When was the last time you did something truly important? The audience gasped audibly this time. Kelly's eyes widened, but she maintained her composure with remarkable grace. I come to work every single day and try to bring joy, information, and connection to people's lives. I consider that important, Kelly said, her voice steady despite the attack. Joy? You think asking celebrities about their breakfast routines is important work? Please, Meghan scoffed, shaking her head. Kelly took a deep breath, her hands folded calmly in her lap. I think meeting people where they are, making them smile, giving them a break from their challenges, that matters. Not everything has to be earth-shattering to be valuable. How quaint. How absolutely small-minded, Meghan said, her eyes flashing with disdain. This is exactly the problem with media today. No vision, no courage, just safe little questions and safe little conversations. There's nothing small-minded about kindness and consistency, Kelly replied, her voice growing stronger. And there's nothing brave about being rude to someone who invited you into their space. Meghan stood abruptly, her chair scraping against the floor. Rude? You think I'm being rude? I'm being honest. Maybe that's something you're not used to in your bubble of celebrity gossip and cooking segments. Kelly remained seated, looking up at Meghan with quiet dignity. Honesty without kindness is just cruelty. And you're absolutely right. We do cooking segments. We do celebrity interviews. We do stories about everyday people doing extraordinary things. We celebrate life in all its forms. How inspirational, Meghan said sarcastically, crossing her arms. You know what, Kelly? I don't think this is going to work out. I don't think your show is the right fit for someone of my caliber. Perhaps you're right, Kelly said quietly, standing now to meet Meghan eye to eye. Because this show is built on mutual respect, and it's clear that's not something you're interested in today. Mutual respect? You haven't earned my respect, Kelly. You sit here day after day, asking shallow questions, pretending to care about people's lives, when really you're just filling time between commercial breaks. Meghan's voice dripped with contempt. The studio had gone completely silent. Every eye was fixed on the confrontation unfolding. Kelly's voice remained steady, though emotion flickered across her face. I do care about every single person who walks through that door, about every viewer who tunes in, about my team who works incredibly hard to make this show what it is. Your team? Let's talk about your team. Do they ever tell you the truth, or do they just smile and nod while you coast on autopilot? Meghan challenged, stepping closer. My team tells me the truth because we've built a relationship based on trust and respect. Concepts you seem to struggle with, Kelly replied, her composure cracking slightly as her voice carried more emotion. Meghan laughed again, that same sharp, cutting sound. Trust and respect? From people who work for you? That's not respect, Kelly. That's obligation. They have to be nice to you. I don't. You're right. You don't have to be nice. But you chose to come here. You chose to sit in that chair. And you chose to treat this moment with contempt, Kelly said, her voice rising now with controlled passion. I chose to come here because my publicist insisted. I chose to sit in this chair because I thought maybe, just maybe, you'd surprise me with something substantive. Instead, I get the same tired format, the same boring approach. Meghan shot back. Kelly's eyes narrowed slightly. If you find authenticity boring, if you find kindness tired, then perhaps you're looking in the wrong places for fulfillment. Don't psychoanalyze me, Kelly. You don't know me. You don't know what I've been through, what I've overcome. You sit here in your comfortable studio with your comfortable life, passing judgment. Meghan's voice trembled with anger. I'm not passing judgment. I'm simply standing up for myself and my show. Something I have every right to do, Kelly responded, her stance firm. Standing up for yourself? Is that what you call this? I call it being defensive because you can't handle criticism, Meghan said, her eyes flashing. Kelly paused, taking a visible breath before speaking. There's a difference between criticism and disrespect, You've crossed that line repeatedly since you sat down. Maybe your line is just too sensitive. Maybe you're not used to people challenging you in your little kingdom here. Meghan gestured around the studio dismissively. This isn't a kingdom. It's a workplace. A place where we try to create something positive every single day. A place where everyone, from the interns to the executives, is treated with dignity. Kelly's voice carried weight now, each word deliberate. Dignity? You want to talk about dignity? Where was the media's dignity when they tore my life apart? Where was your dignity when your industry made me a target? Meghan's voice cracked slightly. Kelly's expression softened, just a fraction. I understand you've been through difficult experiences. Truly, I do. But that doesn't give you the right to come here and attack me or my show. I'm not attacking. I'm simply refusing to play the game. The fake smiles, the pretend warmth, the manufactured moments. I'm over it, Meghan said, her arms still crossed defensively. There's nothing fake about what we do here. The warmth is real. The connections are real. The care is real, Kelly insisted, her voice passionate now. Meghan rolled her eyes. Please, everything on television is manufactured, Kelly. You know it. I know it. Everyone watching knows it. Our viewers deserve more credit than that. They can tell the difference between genuine and fake. And I think they can tell what's happening right now, Kelly said, glancing briefly at the audience. What's happening right now is I'm finally being honest about how shallow this whole industry is. Someone had to say it, Meghan declared, throwing her hands up. Kelly shook her head, slowly. No. What's happening right now is you're trying to make yourself feel better by tearing someone else down, and I won't stand here and let that continue. Are you threatening me? Meghan asked, her voice sharp and accusatory. I'm not threatening anyone. I'm telling you that this interview is over, Kelly said firmly, her voice clear and unwavering. You're ending the interview? You can't end the interview. I'm the guest, Meghan protested, her face flushing. And I'm the host. This is my show. And I'm asking you to leave, Kelly stated, her words measured, but absolute. The audience sat frozen, barely breathing, as the confrontation reached its peak. Meghan stared at Kelly in disbelief. You're actually asking me to leave? Yes, I am. I've tried to be gracious. I've tried to maintain professionalism. But I will not allow you to continue disrespecting me, my team, or this show, Kelly said, standing her ground. This is unbelievable. Do you know what this is going to look like? Do you know how this reflects on you? Meghan demanded, her voice rising to near shouting. Kelly remained calm, though her eyes were intense. I know exactly how this looks. It looks like someone standing up for themselves. It looks like someone drawing a boundary. It looks like respect. Respect? You're humiliating me on national television. Meghan's voice echoed through the studio. You humiliated yourself. I simply stopped enabling it. Kelly replied, quietly but firmly. Meghan's mouth opened and closed, seemingly searching for words. This is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. What's outrageous is that you came here expecting to be treated like royalty while treating everyone around you like servants, Kelly said, her voice carrying a strength that commanded the room. How dare you? How dare you speak to me that way? Meghan sputtered, her composure completely shattered now. I dare because this is my show, my studio, and my responsibility to protect. And right now, I'm protecting the integrity of what we do here. Kelly stood tall, unwavering. Meghan grabbed her purse from beside the chair, her movements jerky and agitated. Fine, I'll leave, but this isn't over. Actually, it is over. Completely over, Kelly said, her voice gentle but absolute. Meghan turned toward the exit, then spun back around. You'll regret this, Kelly. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Kelly's expression remained steady. I know exactly who I'm dealing with, and I'm at peace with my decision. Your decision? This whole thing was your fault. Your questions, your attitude, your complete lack of understanding, Meghan shouted, her voice breaking slightly. I understand more than you think. I understand that hurt people sometimes hurt people. But understanding doesn't mean accepting mistreatment, Kelly responded with surprising gentleness, despite the circumstances. Meghan's eyes filled with tears of frustration and anger. You don't understand anything about me or my life. You're right. I don't know everything about your life, but I know enough to recognize when someone is taking their pain out on others. And I'm sorry you're hurting. But this isn't the answer, Kelly said softly. Don't patronize me with your pseudo-therapy talk. Save it for your cooking segments, Meghan snapped, wiping at her eyes angrily. Kelly took a small step forward, her voice lowering. I'm not patronizing you. I'm trying to treat you with the kindness you seem to desperately need, even as you reject it. I don't need your kindness. I don't need anything from you, Meghan insisted, though her voice wavered. Everyone needs kindness, even people who push it away, Kelly said gently. Meghan stood there for a moment, visibly struggling with her emotions. The studio remained absolutely silent, the tension almost unbearable. I came here in good faith, Meghan finally said, her voice quieter now, but still defensive. Did you? Because from where I'm standing, you came here with an agenda, an axe to grind. A point to prove, Kelly replied, not unkindly. Maybe I did. Maybe I'm tired of playing nice when nothing in my life has been nice for a very long time, Meghan admitted, her shoulders sagging slightly. Kelly's expression softened further. I can appreciate that. I really can. But you can't heal your wounds by creating new ones in other people. Meghan looked at Kelly, really looked at her for the first time since the interview began. You really believe all this, don't you? The kindness, the connection, all of it. I do, because I've seen it work. I've seen it matter. I've seen it change things, even in small ways, Kelly said earnestly. Small ways, Meghan repeated, a bitter smile crossing her face. That's the difference between us, Kelly. I don't want small ways. I want big impact. I want change that matters. Small acts of kindness ripple outward. They accumulate. They matter more than you might think, Kelly offered. Meghan shook her head. I can't afford to think small anymore. I've lost too much to settle for ripples. Then I'm sorry we couldn't find common ground today. I truly am, Kelly said, and her sincerity was evident. Meghan adjusted her purse on her shoulder, drawing herself up to her full height. I'm not sorry. I'm glad this happened. Now, everyone can see the truth. And what truth is that? Kelly asked quietly. That this industry is broken. That these shows are shallow. That none of it means anything real, Meghan stated, her voice hard again. Kelly smiled sadly. If that's what you need to believe, to make this okay for yourself, then believe it. But I know differently. And so do the millions of people who tune in every day seeking connection and comfort. Connection and comfort, Meghan repeated mockingly. Such small ambitions, Kelly. Perhaps, but they're honest ambitions, and they help people. That's enough for me, Kelly replied. Meghan turned toward the exit once more. Well, it's not enough for me. It never will be. I hope you find what you're looking for. I genuinely do, Kelly called after her. Meghan paused at the edge of the stage, not turning around. I doubt that. Believe what you want, but I mean it, Kelly said firmly. Without another word, Meghan walked off the stage, her heels clicking sharply against the floor. The sound echoed through the completely silent studio until she disappeared from view. Kelly stood alone on the stage for a moment, the weight of what just happened settling over the room. She looked at the audience, many of whom appeared shocked, some teary-eyed, others nodding in support. Kelly took a deep breath, smoothing down her outfit and returning to her chair. She sat down slowly, composing herself before looking directly into the camera. Well, she began, her voice slightly shaky but growing stronger with each word. That was unexpected. A few nervous laughs rippled through the audience. Kelly continued, her hands folded in her lap. I want to say something to everyone watching, We come here every day trying to create a space where people feel valued, where stories get told, where life gets celebrated in all its messy, beautiful complexity. She paused, gathering her thoughts. Sometimes things don't go as planned. Sometimes conversations take unexpected turns. But the foundation of what we do here, the core of it, remains unchanged. Her eyes glistened slightly, but her voice stayed steady. We believe in kindness. We believe in respect. We believe in treating people with dignity, and we believe in expecting that same treatment in return. The audience began to applaud, softly at first, then building. Kelly held up a hand gently, quieting them. Thank you, but that's not why I'm saying this. I'm saying it because it's true. Because it matters. Because in a world that sometimes feels dark and divided, choosing kindness isn't weakness. It's strength. She smiled, a real smile that reached her eyes despite their dampness. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have an amazing chef who's going to show us how to make the perfect comfort food. Because if there's one thing we all need right now, it's a little comfort. The camera pulled back as Kelly sat there, dignified and graceful, having stood her ground without losing herself in the process. The red recording light blinked off as they cut to commercial, but Kelly remained in her chair, taking deep breaths and centering herself for what came next.